What's up, guys? I woke up this morning and I feel great. I know at the end of the last video I was like deadbeat tired. It was a combination of work and not getting enough sleep, so I was very tired. If I don't get to sleep by like 8:30, 9 o'clock, I am sleep deprived because I got to get up at like little before 4 o'clock in the morning. So it really sucks. Hi, Steely. And he hardly ever sleeps, runs around all night, and then you sleep during the day. But that's a cat's life. That's what you can do, right? Yeah. So, anyway, we're going to jump on this Subaru. I had a guy come and look at the Cruise yesterday, and he's really interested in it. He said he looked at another one, was asking about the same price. He said it was beat. He said it had a little less miles on it, but he said it was junk. And he looked at mine, he's like, man, this thing's like brand new. It's nice. He wanted it for a work ride, but he has some sort of tool cart, and he was trying to measure it and figure out if it would fit in there, and it didn't look like it was going to fit. So he said he was going to come back with his tool cart to see if it would fit in it. But anyways, there's another guy's coming to look at it, and he's supposed to be here in like 10 minutes. I'm getting a lot of good response from this Cruise. Like, a lot of people want to come see it, but that's also because I'm pricing them at what I have in them, because I'm not trying to make anything off of them. I'm just, the projects I do are for my videos. I make my profit from YouTube, so I'm just basically giving them away, kind of. So it's for sale for what I have in it. If you follow me on Facebook, you'll see that. And what else? Oh, my buddy that has the S10, he was looking for a beater car to drive around in. He really liked the Cruise, but he didn't want to pay that much for a beater. He bought a car, so we're gonna go look at that today. Nothing spectacular, but yeah, he just wanted something cheap to run around because he has that S10, and then besides that, he has a big Cummins diesel, and neither one of them get really good gas mileage. So yeah, we'll go check that out. But Subaru, hopefully we'll have it ready for paint today. But then if I run that out to Jerry's, and we got nothing here, nothing to do. But I still thinking about, we'll make another video, because I really do think I want the interior from another Xterra. I like the black seats, and the carpet, it was just okay. If I can find a really nice carpet, I might just rob it. So that might be tomorrow's episode. I don't know. My one buddy wanted me to go to Johnny's anyway because he needed a taillight for a Subaru. So we can make some money on the side too. We'll pay for my gas to go up there anyway. So that would be, you know, pretty good. So yeah, stay tuned. All right, people, come get your Cruise. Come get it. Alright, so currently I am not going to be working on the Subaru right now. Hopefully it's still nice later, because right now I gotta meet the people that are taking the Cruise. It's going to a new owner today. So, bye-bye Cruise. And what else is going on today? Oh, I want to thank all you guys that contributed to my wife's contest, who donated money to the Wounded Warriors Foundation for votes and stuff like that. It appears that she got dead last in the final round, 12th place, but they have to verify the votes and stuff, and we'll find out Monday. But I just wanted to thank you guys. Some of you guys donated a lot of money, and we really appreciate it. We did not win, but she is still going to get in the magazine, so we'll figure out what magazine, which issue, and what not. And we'll get to you guys and let you know which one that's going to be. Another thing I want to go over, and you might have noticed it at the end of the last episode, I did start a Patreon account. No big deal. You don't have to go see it. It's fine with me. You don't have to donate. That's fine too. I'll just tell you what I've been doing. I have several people that already supported me on there. Really appreciate that. All the proceeds are going to go to builds and the garage and stuff like that. But I'm by no means asking everybody to donate, okay? It's just on your own will if you want to. But the people that are patrons already, I've been doing, they have like a lens feature. I've been kind of like covering more of my personal life and what's going on and updating people like what's going on currently, because it's real easy to do and I can just get on there. It's kind of like Snapchat basically, but just get more personal with the people that are donating on there. So if you are interested in that, it's there. I don't exactly know the link. I know you can just look up Unwrecked on Patreon and you should be able to find it there. So like I said, you don't have to if you don't want to, but it's there. Well, it is almost 1 o'clock. The cruise is gone to the new happy owner. They drove a long way. They were from like up near Erie. Like, that's a long drive. But they were very happy with it. Happy to see how nice it was. And anyways, let's go see my buddy's ride. Oh, cute! Oh, cute! Yeah, so that was fun. Anyway, whatnot. Went and got some hose clamps from the hardware store because, like I said, when you get a car from an insurance auction and they move it with forklift, the Subarus, it breaks the heat shields on the exhaust. Every one I've gotten from an insurance auction, the heat shields have been broken, and that's why they rattle when you get them. So, just put a couple hose clamps on it, clamp them up tight. Not an expensive vehicle, so it's really no need to put a new heat shield on or anything like that, or a new exhaust. We are going to first change the oil, fix the exhaust. We'll look at the underside of it whenever I get home, and just make sure everything's good underneath there, and then we'll finish the body work and then maybe take it for a little spin. I was just down to help Johnny for a second. It's just one bad thing after another on that truck. He got a new steering gearbox because it would not steer as far to the right side as it would the left side. Replaced the gearbox, had it up on stands, and it turned the whole way fine. He put it down on the floor and he needed help, and the guy was there helping him. He turned it. It still wouldn't turn the whole way to the right side. Get over and look. The frame rail was cracked right in front of the gearbox. So the frame rail was flexing when he tried to turn it to the right. I said, dude, you need to get rid of this thing. But what he's going to do, he's going to grind her down, weld it, which it was already welded, you could see. He's going to grind it down, weld it, plate it, weld it again, and it should work then. But that thing's been a nightmare. So anyway, first off, let's service this thing, check the exhaust, look underneath. I already did a little bit of body work last night. This dent is gone, and it's good. This one I didn't paint yet. I don't have enough putty in this spot yet, and I just didn't sand this enough yet, so we'll have to work on that. Also, the bolt that holds the bottom of this fender in busted when I took it out, so we're gonna run a self tapper through right here and just run it through to hold it. So yeah, technically you don't even need that bolt, but we're going to throw one in it. So let me back this up, get it on the ramps, and then we'll slide underneath her with some cardboard and check her out. Alright, so I don't know if you'll be able to hear me over this thing because the exhaust is rattling right now. I I want to get underneath and look. See how loose we are there. There's already a clamp over here. Somebody already fixed this one. And yeah. Let's clamp these up and then we'll see how quiet it gets. Got rid of some of the rattle, but I didn't get rid of all of the rattle. It was loose up front here, so we got that one. And back here where the air conditioning is dripping, there is like a catalytic converter right there with a big heat shield around it, and it's rattling. I put a clamp around it, it's still rattling. So what I think it is, I think there's stones or something inside that heat shield. So I tried to take it off, but the bolts are so rusty, they won't come out. So I'm thinking I'm going to get a bigger drill bit and I'm going to drill some holes in the bottom of that heat shield. Hopefully we can get the stones out, but that's what's making most of my noise now. I mean, it doesn't sound near as bad from up here now, but I just, rattling noises suck. People don't know what they are. Like it could be something simple or the engine's rattling and they don't like it. So I want to get this thing as quiet as possible. So I'm going to shut it down. It's warm now. We'll go ahead and drain the oil, and while the oil is draining, we'll drill some holes in that heat shield and see what we can get out of it. Maybe there's some valuables in it. I want to show you guys something. One thing on these Subarus to look for if you want to know if the head gasket was done. First off, you see those nuts on the exhaust. You can tell that they were replaced. They look fairly shiny. Okay, you can see it better over here. Well, as you can see, both heads are fairly clean. It's hard to see that one, but you can see this one. You can see that gasket up in there is blue. I don't think the factory ones are blue. Now, I could be wrong, but I know the timing belt was done on this. But just the fact that the heads look that clean, you can tell that they were off and cleaned, and the head gasket was done. Timing belt you can kind of see from right here underneath without even removing a cover, and I can see it in there, and it looks pretty good. I don't know that you guys can see it, but I can see it maybe from back here. You want to look for dry cracks and stuff like that. It looks good. I can see it up in there, and it looks fairly new. I mean, yeah, it does have 50,000 miles on it, but and the cover, they don't have the cover on the whole way, or you wouldn't be able to see that because it looks like they don't have it in the whole way right here. It should be in tighter, but it ain't hurting nothing. It's just a plastic cover. But yeah, the underside of this actually looks really good. You got to watch these because they get rusty up here in the northern part of the United States, because we use road salt, which just eats these things apart. This one looks pretty nice for the year and everything, so happy with that for being a sight unseen purchase. I'm happy with it. Alright, I ain't messing around now. What I'm going to do is there's 4 bolts around that cat heat shield. I'm going to cut one and I'm going to pry it down and I'm going to get that stone down out, and then I'm going to use that hose, double hose clamp that I used right there to go the whole way around it and pull it back tight again. That'll quiet it up, but there's definitely a stone in it. If I beat on it right now while it's not running, you can hear it clanging around in there, so that's my rattle. But the bolts will not come out of it because they're rusted in place, and they rounded off when I tried to loosen them. So just going to chop the one off and be done with it. This heat shield's kicking my ass. The only way I could get on it was with the Sawzall at an angle going in. I'm trying to cut the bolt. I'm going in between the 2 sheets of the heat shield, the top and the bottom piece, and I'm just trying to cut the bolt. This thing will not cut it. It acts like it's going to try to, and then it hits something and bends. So, I need another blade. Anyway, and then the blade busted off and hit me in the arm and burnt me right there. Get out. Get out, blade. Come out. Oh my. I'm stuck. There it is. And now my battery's going dead on this, so I need to take a break. Alright, I haven't checked the oil level yet. I did not fix that exhaust rattle. I mean, I got it a lot quieter than it was, but it still has an exhaust rattle. It's in there where the cat was. I even cut the bolt off and looked in there. I couldn't see a rock, but there's something in there rattling, and I couldn't get it out. I'd have to cut the whole heat shield off, and it's really not worth it at this point. So I'm gonna set these ramps together over here, and I'm going to sand these headlights up and clear coat them. Because everybody said you should clear coat them. You should sand them and clear coat them. It works better than using polish. So that's what we're going to try to do. So here is the difference. This is just sanding and polish. No clear coat yet. And here's the old one. So it already looks 10 times better. It looks like I missed a spot. Down around the bottom there, it looks like it's still a little hazy. Maybe I just didn't wipe the polish off. I'm gonna wipe this just a little bit more, and I am going to throw a little bit of clear coat on it. Well, I'm not impressed with the clear coat. It cracked up and hazed over. So we're going to use acetone, which you got to be careful when you use acetone on a lens because it will eat the lens. But we need to get that clear coat off. We're going to sand and buff it again, and that's how it's going to be because it looked 10 times better just sanded and buffed. So that's what we're going to do to it. Alright, so I had to sand the crap out of this thing to get all that clear off, and I still think I left a little bit on, but I kept going between 400 to 1500 grit, and then polishing, and sanding, and polishing, and sanding. It's still not perfect, but it does look better than what it did. It's, you know, it's good. Now this one, I need to sand a little bit more, and then polish it, and it'll be good to go. Maybe it was a clear coat I was using. I don't know. Some people said they've had success doing that. I did not. I don't know what I did wrong, but it like cracked. It almost looked like crackle paint, and it like cracked and stuff. I don't know if I laid the clear coat on too thick, but personally, polishing them like that looks a lot better to me. And then you don't have to worry about the clear coming off or it hazing or any of that stuff. Just the regular lens. So I'm just going to continue doing what I know how to do. I'm going to do this one, and then we're going to throw them back in the car. I already wasted way too much time on these, more than I wanted to. I need to get to the body work, and so that's what we're going to do. Well, I realized something whenever I was almost done polishing this. This has haze on the inside of the lens, and the only way you could get that out would be to actually remove the lens and it's really not worth it. So yeah, that haze you can see is on the inside, so that's why you see me like wiping the lens. I was looking at it and I could tell it was deeper than like where I was polishing at. Like you could tell it was on the inside layer. So anyway, they still look a lot better than what they did. So let's go ahead and throw them back on the car. Now, I just put this hood down just a minute ago, and I had a huge gap here, and I didn't turn the camera on, and I fought with it, pushed it back. I actually had to bend it, this arc right here, I had to bend it back so it would pull the fender in, but yeah, fits good now. I need to add a little bit of putty right here. You see those lines? That's where I didn't get deep enough. I think that's where I didn't get deep enough, but yeah, so I gotta get that, and then I need to do some sanding on this. I didn't complete this yet, didn't finish doing my work I was doing down here. Got some putty down around the bottom I don't need on there. So we're gonna get the block out, we'll sand this a little bit, add a little bit of putty here. I'm gonna move it over there real quick, so let's move it. Alright, so I started sanding. I'm far from done, and I was hand sanding because I could not find 400 grit pads for my gun here, for my sander. I got 320, but Jerry always told me, he said to hit it with 400 and he could paint on it. So I'm going with his word. I don't want to use anything more coarse. I had a couple little pinholes in this putty, so I put some glazing putty on there. We gotta let that dry. A lot more sanding to do, and I really don't want to do it by hand. So tomorrow, I'm not going to Johnny's. I'm gonna wait. I just want to make sure that's what I want to do on the interior. But tomorrow I need to go get some sanding pads for that. That's my mission, is to find 400 grit pads for this. I went to a Harbor Freight in Altoona, and they didn't have 400. Oh, great. Let me change the battery real quick. Yeah, so like I was saying, probably go to Harbor Freight in Lewistown. I don't want to hand sand all this. I know I'm going to have to hand sand some of it, but all of it, no, I don't want to. My wife must have washed her car today. Look at that. Thing looks good. Looks real good. She did a good job. She had to have had somebody else clean it for her. She normally misses a spot here or there. It don't look like she missed a spot. It even looks like she cleaned the tires. I am proud of her. Now she needs to come over and get this. My car is muddy as can be from this bank. Anyway, so we'll get to more of this tomorrow, which is going to be Wednesday for you guys. So look forward to that. I don't know if Jerry made any progress on the Xterra. I might take a trip out there to see how he's doing, but I know he had a big job there when I dropped it off, and I tell him to do those jobs before he even touches mine. So he had like a 2017 Jeep Cherokee that somebody sideswiped a guardrail. I mean, it was just as bad as the Xterra. So, but they weren't totaling it. The insurance company was going to have him fix it. He's going to have to pull the window pillar and the quarter panel and all that out. And anyway, he was doing that. I don't know how long that's going to take him. But if you like this, like, subscribe, go check out some other videos, and we'll see you on the next one. Peace out!